Hey everyone! Welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into one of the most common questions in neural networks. What's the difference between softmax and sigmoid activation functions? And more importantly, when should you use each one? By the end of this video, you'll have a crystal clear understanding of both functions, their mathematical foundations, and their real-world applications. Let's get started. Before we dive deep, let's get a bird's eye view. Sigmoid and softmax are both activation functions, but they serve different purposes. Sigmoid is used for binary classification. Think yes or no, spam or not spam, cat or dog. It outputs a single value between 0 and 1. Softmax, on the other hand, is used for multi-class classification, like identifying whether an image is a cat, dog, bird, or fish. It outputs a probability distribution across multiple classes. Now, let's understand each one in detail. Let's start with sigmoid. The sigmoid function, also called the logistic function, has this beautiful mathematical form. It takes any real number as input and squashes it to a value between 0 and 1. The formula is sigma of z equals 1 divided by 1 plus e to the power of negative z. When you plot this, you get this characteristic S-shaped curve. Notice how extreme values get pushed towards 0 or 1, while values near 0 map to 0.5. Sigmoid has some key properties that make it useful. First, its output range is strictly between 0 and 1, which we can interpret as probabilities. Second, it's differentiable everywhere, which is crucial for backpropagation during training. Third, it's monotonic. As input increases, output always increases. This makes it predictable and stable. However, it has one major drawback: the vanishing gradient problem. At extreme values, the gradient becomes very small, which can slow down learning. Let's see sigmoid in action with some Python code. Here's a simple implementation using NumPy. We define the sigmoid function, create some sample inputs from -10 to +10, and compute the outputs. Notice how negative infinity maps to 0, positive infinity maps to 1, and 0 maps to 0.5. When we plot this, we see our classic S-curve. This is what's happening inside your neural network when you use sigmoid activation. So when do we use sigmoid? The classic use case is binary classification in the output layer. Let's say you're building a spam detector. Your neural network processes an email, and the final layer has one neuron with sigmoid activation. If the output is greater than 0.5, it's spam. If it's less than 0.5, it's not spam. Sigmoid is perfect here because we need a single probability value that represents one class versus another. Now let's talk about softmax. Softmax is more complex because it works on multiple values simultaneously. The formula for softmax takes a vector of k real numbers and transforms them into a probability distribution. For each element zi, we compute e to the power of zi, then divide by the sum of e to the power of zj for all j. The key insight here is that softmax considers all outputs together, not just one value in isolation. Let's walk through an example to really understand this. Say we have 3 output neurons with values 2.0, 1.0, and 0.1. Step 1, we exponentiate each value. This gives us 7.39, 2.72, and 1.11. Step 2, we sum them up. 7.39 plus 2.72 plus 1.11 equals 11.22. Step 3, we divide each exponentiated value by this sum. This gives us 0.66, 0.24, and 0.10. Notice something important. These 3 values sum to exactly 1. That's what makes it a proper probability distribution. Softmax has some powerful properties. First, all outputs are between 0 and 1, just like probabilities. Second, all outputs sum to exactly 1, which means we can interpret them as mutually exclusive probabilities. Third, Softmax amplifies differences. The largest input gets a disproportionately large probability, while smaller inputs get compressed. This winner-takes-most behavior is actually a feature, not a bug. It makes the network more confident in its predictions. Here's how we implement Softmax in Python. The key trick is to subtract the maximum value for numerical stability. This prevents overflow errors. We exponentiate the inputs, sum them up, and then normalize. Let's see it in action with three classes. Our logits of 2.0, 1.0, and 0.1 become probabilities of 0.659, 0.242, and 0.99. These sum to 1.0, and the highest logit got the highest probability. When do we use Softmax? It's the go-to choice for multi-class classification in the output layer. Imagine you're building an image classifier that identifies animals. Your final layer has neurons for cat, dog, bird, and fish. You apply Softmax to convert the raw scores into probabilities. If the output is 0.7, 0.2, 0.05, and 0.05, the network is 70% confident it's a cat. The prediction is always the class with the highest probability. Let's put everything together and compare them directly. Number of outputs. Sigmoid gives one output, Softmax gives multiple outputs. Output interpretation. Sigmoid gives probability of one class, Softmax gives probability distribution across all classes. Mathematical relationship. Sigmoid operates independently, Softmax considers all outputs together. Use case. Sigmoid for binary problems, Softmax for multi-class problems. And here's a crucial point. For a two-class problem, Sigmoid and Softmax are actually equivalent. Softmax with two classes reduces to Sigmoid. Let's clear up some common misconceptions. Myth 1. Sigmoid is old and outdated. Not true. Sigmoid is still widely used in binary classification and in LSTM gates. It's not about being old or new, it's about using the right tool for the job. Myth 2. You can use multiple Sigmoid outputs instead of Softmax. Technically, yes, but the outputs won't sum to 1, so they're not a true probability distribution. Softmax guarantees this property. Myth 3. Softmax is always better than Sigmoid. Not at all. For binary classification, Sigmoid is simpler, faster, and just as effective. Let's see a practical example comparing both. Here's a binary classification problem solved two ways. On the left, we use one output neuron with Sigmoid. For a cat versus dog classifier, output greater than 0.5 means cat. On the right, we use two output neurons with Softmax. We get explicit probabilities for both cat and dog. Both approaches work, but Sigmoid is more efficient for this binary case. Softmax would be overkill here. Here's a simple decision tree to help you choose. Ask yourself, is it a classification problem? If no, you might need ReLU or other activations. If yes, ask how many classes. If it's exactly two classes, use Sigmoid with one output neuron and binary cross-entropy loss. If it's three or more classes and they're mutually exclusive, use Softmax with categorical cross-entropy loss. If classes can overlap, like multi-label classification, use Sigmoid on each output neuron independently. Let's look at real-world applications. Sigmoid, email spam detection, medical diagnosis for presence of disease, credit card fraud detection, sentiment analysis for positive or negative. Softmax, image classification with multiple categories, handwritten digit recognition, language identification, species classification in biology. The pattern is clear. Sigmoid gets binary problems, Softmax gets multi-class problems. Here's a bonus advanced topic, temperature scaling in Softmax. By dividing the logits by a temperature parameter T before Softmax, we can control the confidence of the distribution. High temperature makes the distribution more uniform, the model is less confident. Low temperature makes it sharper, the model is more confident. This is useful in techniques like knowledge distillation. Let's wrap up with the key takeaways. 1. Sigmoid maps to a single probability between 0 and 1, perfect for binary classification. 2. Softmax maps to a probability distribution across multiple classes, essential for multi-class classification. 3. Sigmoid operates independently on each output, while Softmax considers all outputs together. 4. Use Sigmoid for yes-no questions, Softmax for which one questions. 5. Both are differentiable and work great with gradient descent. And that's it. You now understand the difference between Softmax and Sigmoid, and more importantly, you know when to use each one. If you found this helpful, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more deep dives into machine learning concepts. Drop a comment below if you have any questions or if there's another topic you'd like me to cover. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Happy coding!